Hi, everybody. I'm
Hi,
Phil,
Nancy.
and we're here today to talk to you about Alzheimer's and camping. Nancy has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she's had a variety of symptoms. We've been camping for quite a few years now. I think it started in 2013 when we bought our first travel trailer. We got another different travel trailer, and now we're into a different travel trailer. We just got back from a 3-week trip, and we're going to talk to you today about medications, the variety of medications. We're not going to talk specific about medications. It's basically just our experience with medications, some of the problems you may have and encounter out there while you're traveling. We enjoy doing it, but it does offer its challenges with traveling, without doubt. So if you have questions about your medications and what you're on and should you be traveling, we definitely recommend you consult with your doctor or medical professional. Don't rely on us for medication advice at all, in the slightest. This is just how you can travel, and again, based on our experiences. Everybody's going to be different when they're out there. Your situation is going to be different than our situation. Your condition may be different. It may be more advanced than what Nancy's condition may be. But we've seen the challenges, without doubt, on our travels throughout the years with Alzheimer's. That being said, we're going to kind of jump right into. I do have a checklist of stuff that we'll talk about. I want to try and keep it as concise and as short as I can for you, and detailed. So again, we've been camping now since 2013, right? And what's the longest trip we've been on?
No. 3 months.
3 months, yeah. So we've taken our trailer down south and out west towards California, spent a couple months in beautiful Colorado. America is wonderful to go see. It's awesome to see on the road. We really enjoy that part of it. So we've done some traveling in our camper and been in some very rural spots for sure. We enjoy boondock camping, which means you're off grid and you don't have electric or water, and you're out there. And we've been out there plenty of times. So that's kind of our experiences. And we've camped as well, having power and water and sewerage.
Usually at the end of the trip.
Yeah,
we do that.
We need to
unload and fill up
and charge our battery up and different things like that. So what we've seen is we've had a mail-in service with our medications in the past. And that was an epic failure on a lot of different fronts. Don't recommend. That's just our experience. Maybe it might work best for you if you're going on a little short journey.
We did it so that we'd have 3 weeks supply, or 3-month supply.
Because you can sometimes get longer amounts from a mail-in service. In our case, that was the case. But God forbid you need a refill on your way, or they automatically refill when you're a week into your 3-month trip, which kind of sort of happened to us. And that stuff was going to sit in our mailbox for 2 months, 2.5 months.
In the heat, in the summer.
In the heat, in the summer. It does not, it's not a good thing. And it was frustrating for us because we told them in advance, hey, we're going on this trip. Don't send us any medications. And they did it anyway. So disheartening. Our experience is the chain stores work best. Whether it be maybe you like Walmart. Walmart is everywhere. When we're camping, Walmart is our friend out there for everything we do. Right?
It's sad that it is, but yeah.
It is. So they have great RV supplies at Walmart. A lot of food, obviously, and whatever odds and ends supplies. Plus, they have pharmacies. So it may work out beneficial for you to have a Walmart, CVS, perhaps, or a Walgreens. They're the top three that I can think of out on the road that you'll typically see anywhere. So they're ones that I would head in that direction. It's what we have. We have a chain store one that we have locally in our town, and we use them regularly. Highly recommend that. When you go out, I recommend that you bring all of your bottles with you, your prescription bottles. Keep in mind if you're in a camper and it's hot, and she always reminds me of that, you don't leave these in the camper in the heat. It gets quite hot in the camper, and it's hard to cool down when you're out on a day trip someplace and you leave all these in the camper. Do the best you can to keep them in a cool place. But bring your bottles with you, and there's a couple reasons for that. So if you have your bottles, number one, you can see how much is left on your prescription. So if you have one refill left or no refills left, you'll be able to look at that. You'll have an order number on there. You'll have the doctor's name who prescribed it, the exact name of the medication. Of course, you should always have a list too. We have one each of us has one on our phones of her medications and my medications. So have your medications with you. Plus, I mean, if you're walking around with your prescriptions loose in a container and somebody questions you, what is that pill? It's good to be able to fall back and say, well, this is the prescription. It may be a controlled substance, but I have the bottles for it, Mr. Policeman.
Just like when you go on a plane.
Yeah, that's a good point. Any type of traveling, you should have those bottles with you always. Have your doctor, your medical professional, whoever's issuing these medications to you, have their phone number readily available. And why would that be? Have your doctor phone number available, you think?
In case you're having problems with your medications, or they tell you that it needs refills.
Yeah, and if Walgreens or CVS or Walmart calls you and say, hey, there's no refills left, a lot of the times they will call your prescriber, your doctor, and say, hey, we need another refill on this. And sometimes the doctor will comply with that. Don't rely on that. If you find out that there is a medication need or a refill need, I recommend, because these folks are often difficult to get a hold of, call as soon as you find that out. Try to talk to the nurse in the office and see if they will add refills for your prescription. Sometimes you need to make an appointment.
I'd also keep a pill cutter in the box.
Yeah.
Just in case you have half a dose or whatever that you take.
Yep. Yeah, we found on our last trip that was one thing that we didn't bring with us, and I had to go buy it. They're only a couple bucks, but
they're hard to cut.
Yeah, those pills are definitely hard to cut. So pill cutters are pretty awesome to have with you. But doctor's phone number is really important.
Also a little pill container. So you're out.
Like these.
Going out for the day. You put your lunch pill in there. You're going out at night. You have your night medicine. Whenever you're out.
We use these as well sometimes.
Yeah. Little
baggies.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you take your medicine, just to make sure you have it when you go out.
All right. Yeah.
Also, if you take anxiety medication, I always make sure after not doing this and seeing how bad it is, if I do not have that in my pocketbook. Crucial.
Definitely. Always have that if you need that anxiety. Because you have to anticipate, she has to anticipate when something is about to happen where it's going to perhaps set her into a tailspin. She has to know that in advance, and maybe you do as well. that you may need to take that in
Yeah,
advance
you
of
never
it.
know when it's going to happen, and all of a sudden it happens and you don't have that pill, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Or so see.
Yeah, big time. So
Or depression or whatever.
yeah, whatever your needs are for your medications, and you have to take that in advance, and it's that important, have it if it's that important. Something else to keep in mind, if in today's day and age, we're doing a lot of appointments are virtual. Some doctors in some states, and they have to adhere to laws, will not do the virtual appointment if you go out of their state that they're in. Not all of them. Some don't ask, some do ask, and they know where you are. They won't have the appointment with you.
Yeah,
So
I have one that does not
yeah,
talk to me unless I'm in my state.
yeah. So if we're traveling and she happens to say we're traveling, we say where are you? And if you're not, and she's not in our state, she won't, by law, be able to have the appointment.
Yeah.
So be cognizant of that. It's not in all cases. It's just, again, that's our experience. Bring, we carry all of our medications, her and I, with us, and the one main reason for that is going to be if you like where you're at and you want to hang out for a couple more days. If you get stuck someplace, your vehicle breaks down, your trailer breaks down, whatever it might be, and you're stuck, don't be stuck without your medications. Have them with you
So you can stay.
so you can stay, or if you have to stay, you have your medications with you. That can end up being a big problem. And you don't want medications to really dictate your trip, too. So, in other words, I don't have my medications. We got to get back home for that. Doctor's appointments are one thing. You got to get back for those. They're all too important and hard to get. Medications, if you have them sitting in your cabinet at home, there's no reason why you shouldn't have them with you. So definitely bring all your meds. A couple helpful hints here. What we do, it's not for everybody, but it is, again, something we do. Nancy mentioned the pill container. We have a couple of these set up. This is mine for lunch and for dinner. A lot of supplements in there as well. So we combine our supplements in with it. And you just have to have the knowledge of consult with your doctor on this, because some of these medications you want to take with a meal. Some it doesn't matter. Some you can't take with a meal. So be cognizant of what you're taking and when you're taking it. But these are set up for lunch and dinner. She has extra pills in her purse. I carry this in my pocket every day, all day. But also what we do is one of these, which has all of our pills laid out for 1 week. And it has a breakfast, lunch, dinner, and bedtime pills. This organizer has helped us immensely. So you just have to set it up once a week and get all your pills laid out. That way there's no confusion every night of...
And make sure before this runs out, maybe day 5, that you have enough of each pill to fill it up again, because you need a couple days or a day or two.
If you're the patient and you think you have a hard time remembering pills, if you think you are taking, and she asks me this all the time, how come there's only 4 pills at the nighttime level? And I say, well, there's only 4 pills, and she gets confused often with how many pills.
Do I take this pill?
Yeah.
I don't take that pill.
Right. So
And I also have to set alarms on my phone for each time I need to take a pill. So I have an alarm for lunchtime. I have, in the morning I always remember for some reason, but bedtime, the alarm goes off, and I have to take it right away because even if I wait 5 minutes,
You're gonna forget.
I forget to take the pills.
Yeah, and the bedtime pill. And if you think like we'll often go out, it's hot here right now in the South, super hot. So our walks when we go out and exercise, our walks are later in the evening, and we'll be halfway through our walk, and her bedtime pill alarm is going off at 9 o'clock. So we know, I know, she knows
I have
that
to set it a half hour ahead.
she has to reset the alarm or give a timer for another half an hour so that we can get home and she can take her pills. Otherwise, we're not going to take the pills. It's going to get forgotten about.
Yeah.
So the timer, good. That's a terrific point. I forgot about. Very, very important. But these, if you are the person in we're talking about Alzheimer's. If you're the caregiver, you should be the one probably setting this up and making sure that this gets taken care of correctly. Because when you start screwing up the meds, and we have over the years, have taken double doses, triple. We don't sometimes when this early on, before we even realize that we should be doing this, and that I should be managing the pills. It got really bad, and she had been hospitalized because of basically an overdose situation, and accidental as it was, she just didn't know and realize. So
I actually asked him to start filling them up.
Yeah, filling them up and then making sure they get done. I check that all the time. Super, super important.
Yeah.
Can't express that one enough. In regards of going back just a tad bit with these virtual calls, if you're having a virtual call with your doctor and you're camping, this is another hint. Have decent cell service where you're at, right? Do a test call, try somebody on FaceTime or something first. Make sure you have good service.
If you know beforehand that you don't, you can go to a local McDonald's and sit in the parking lot or a Walmart parking lot because you know they're going to have service there.
They're going to have service and they're going to have Wi-Fi in a lot of cases.
Yeah, but you need to know that beforehand.
And test it and try it first. So just because they say they have Wi-Fi, I think we've all been there and done that and tried to do Wi-Fi call, and there's so many people sometimes in the store, it doesn't work. So test it first. The phone calls with doctors are too important while you're out traveling. You have to make sure you get that right.
Yeah.
Here's another important thing that we're going to discuss that is important towards camping. Medication changes. This is our experience with medication changes. We've had some disasters, really, really bad experiences camping because of this. If you anticipate or you're going through a medication change, I don't recommend going out and camping because your environment is changing. There's some stressors involved. Maybe you're like,
you don't feel good. It can do stuff to your head. And
yeah,
all kinds of awful things. So you want to wait until it settles down before you go.
Yeah, transition into your med first.
Make sure it's good.
Or come out of your med if you're coming out or coming into a new medication. Make sure you do that first. Get that settled in because there can be stress. An example of stress on our last trip that we just got back from the other day. The slide on our trailer, so it's one of the rooms that kind of opens up and gives us more space, and it's electronic and mechanical. It didn't want to work for us. Brand new trailer, and the stress is beyond belief. Not only for me, but for her. And there were instances where she had to walk away from it. I had to try to walk away from it and think through things. It was a disaster in itself. But
what saved me there is thinking, no matter how uptight I get, it's not going to help the situation. It's just going to make it worse. So whatever happens, happens. I'm going to go for a walk. And it actually worked. It was shocking, but
yeah. Yeah, she got through everything just fine. We had a fantastic trip. We got to see a lot of family and a good part of the country. At least a decent part of the country. I think out west is much better, but at least families out east. So we that was the good part. We got to see a lot of family, and it was awesome. But while you're traveling, again, make sure you get that medication right first. I wouldn't even try it if you're not squared away with the meds. That's super hyper important to pay attention to that one. If you get anything out of this, get that one out of it. Don't do it. We've made that mistake for you, and please learn from that one. But as you're traveling, in our case, we have a pickup truck that tows our travel trailer. As you're traveling, have water. Right, we always have a case of water and water available to us up in the driver and passenger area.
To take your meds.
Take meds, stay hydrated, stay hydrated. You're getting a lot of sun in the vehicle, sometimes driving for hours. So stay hydrated, have the water available for your medications. Have snacks.
Yeah, you want to have something healthy because when you're traveling, everywhere you go is junk food. And junk food really is not good for Alzheimer's. We're really starting to dedicate ourselves on this, but always have a lunchbox with you with like a freezer pack or something, containers of whatever you should be eating in there.
Yeah, something healthy, and we may do a little bit on that because we are putting forth quite an effort, and we have been since probably March or so. We've been really dedicated to healthy eating for my issue, which is a cardiac related issue, and then her to try and add clarity and help this whole thing. And there's some really good science behind it, and
We'll probably have a video.
yeah, I think so, because there's a lot of good information to throw out there.
Yeah.
And
one place we found to go good is Olive Garden, which you can get the salad and soup, which is pretty healthy. If you get what was the one that we Zupla,
Tuscany or something.
Tuscany, yeah, and salad,
good.
and you eat as much as you want, and just a thought.
Yeah, it's inexpensive in today's day and age. Everything's expensive out there.
Yeah.
But pardon me. Yeah, Olive Garden's a good chance. So good choice. That's everything kind of in a nutshell for us here today. We hope that medications are not an issue after you see this video.
Yeah.
If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. You can throw us a comment if you want, or a question.
Maybe there's something we didn't think of that could help us.
Yeah,
that would be great.
If you see something out there we may have missed, by all means, we're into doing these for you to learn and for us to learn.
Right.
So go ahead and send us something. But again, we've made the mistakes. We've done them all, I think, out there. And
learn the hard way.
We do.
Yeah.
And we, even on this last trip, some of the problems we ran into were, I had one pharmacy, a chain pharmacy. I called in my prescriptions. I showed up to get the prescriptions. They had one prescription, didn't have the other prescription at all, even though I gave them the order on the phone.
And they don't even make it. Wasn't that the manufacturer?
Yeah. So we found there that there was a manufacturer problem of that drug. So then we had to reach out to the doctor's office and say, hey, is there an alternate medication for this medication? For whatever reason, the pharmacy can't seem to order it. So fortunately, I was able to get the doctor's office, and it worked out right to the day of when I had that medication. And then the chain pharmacy now, on 2 occasions on that trip, tried to give me somebody else's prescriptions.
The only thing that saved that was when you entered your phone number. They said no.
Yeah, that's not
It
your phone
actually
number.
ended up being his father's.
Yeah, it was my dad's meds. So that's a weird thing that can happen, and almost did. So needless to say, I told my dad, "Hey, you got some medications
Yeah,
to
we
pick
should
up."
have brought it for you.
So yeah, that's everything. If again you have comments or you like this type
Because
of
they have
video,
the same name.
yeah,
Sorry.
just let us know, and we wish everybody safe and happy travels when you do, and if you do, and hopefully you do, because again we have a beautiful country to go explore. So have fun. Bye.
See you soon.